Colors weave into a spire of flame. Distant sparks lead to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the calm of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying light. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Gamemode C, the show where we almost never talk about Minecraft and always talk about Nintendo. It is currently episode 9. I am Freddy, also known as Crafty Type 1.
I am Jacob, also known as TatorTot.
That was by far one of the most energetic intros I've done.
I don't know if energetic's the proper tone for today's episode, though, given the circumstances.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But first, I just want to say, I nearly died. So it started raining.
Oh no, that would have been tragic.
It started raining hard today, and I was like out driving on my way back from school, and it just hit. And it's like the hard raindrops, and it got to the point where I could barely see like outside my windshield because my car can't hold heat at all. So it just fogs up immediately. So, I crank up the heat and everything, and I try, because, once you heat up your car, I don't know what happens, but your windshield defogs. Yeah. So I'm getting to that point, but I'm still on the road. But so I'm all like looking on the other side, like, okay, yeah. Then my car started overheating, so I think I need new coolant or something. Yeah, because it's cold outside, and it started overheating. So then my car's yelling at me. I can't see out my windshield, and I'm like a couple miles away from the house. So I was like freaking out. I'm not gonna lie.
What did it like give you a warning that it was overheating?
Yeah. So like on the little car dash thing, it was like engine idle overheating or whatever. I don't know. So I'm like, what? And
When you pulled into the garage, because he pulled into the garage as I was like I think getting something from the outside.
wasn't my car like super loud?
Your car was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, is that okay over there?
I haven't changed the radiator fluid in like a year and a half, so I think it could be that or the car that I have, the certain model, does have issues with the temperature gauge. Like the temperature thermometer gets stuck. Sometimes it gets stuck too high or whatever, and the car just constantly reads hot when it's not even hot. So it could be one of those things. I don't think it'll be an expensive fix, hopefully, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I was making a cheeseburger downstairs, and I looked outside. I'm like, looks like it's gonna rain. I finished the burger. I put it on my plate. I
And
set
it
it on the
went-
table, and I looked back, and I'm like, is it raining outside? That's like that second. And it was like downpouring too. It wasn't like a drizzle. It was
Oh
literally
yeah,
clear,
like when it rains
not
out
clear
here,
skies,
it
but
pours, and we're starting to get in the freezing temp as well. So it's gonna get
you have a
Snow.
snow warning this
Yeah.
coming week or
yeah.
next week. Sorry.
Enough about our life. Sora is in Smash. Earlier yesterday, or as the time of recording this, earlier today, there was the final Sakurai presentation. I watched it live with all of you guys. That was super fun. Thank you for everyone who joined on. When did you watch it?
When I finished my first class, I just watched your
Oh,
live
you
reaction.
watched the live reaction.
Yeah, but that's the one part when they've revealed it and you changed it to your face as the
I
full screen.
know.
It's like, no, you should have kept it like part of the direct window there.
I forgot to have a little. So last time I did a live reaction, I had like another camera in when I had the like this full face cam. I had it in the bottom like left hand corner, so you still see the content, but you still see like my face is the subject, I guess. And I forgot to add that back in. So then when I realized that, I'm like, oh, I should switch it over. But yeah, that did happen. But yeah, that was something. That was something. The 89th fighter is Sora, and in this final Sakurai Presents, Doomguy, Octoling, and Judd were announced as Mii costumes, and that comes out the same day as Sora, that being the 18th. Yeah. What do you think of this
Yeah.
announcement?
So I think the Doom guy. I mean, I would have liked to see him as a main character, but I'll take him as a me
Yeah, we'll start
costume.
with the Mii costumes because that's what they did in the
Beginning.
presentation. They did the Mii costumes and they did the actual fighter announcement.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little disappointed. Or, see, I hate saying I'm disappointed because I love what Sakurai did, and I'm honestly happy with everything the game has had. But like I would have liked to see Octoling as an Echo Fighter. They made the term Echo Fighter for a reason, and they didn't use it at all. And we'll get more into this later. We actually have the chat box question, kind of related to this. But yeah, they made like the Echo Fighters, and they just didn't make any Echo Fighters. They're just like, oh yeah, these characters, they're called Echo Fighters, but we're not gonna add any more.
Hypothetically, if we ever
Oh
add
yeah,
any, they will
hypothetically.
be called Echo Fighters, but we're not going to add any. So
Yeah, Judd, pretty interesting. It's just Judd, okay. And then Doom Guy, yeah. Honestly, these models look awesome. Each of them has their own music. If you get the Octoling, you get a new remix for Splatoon. If you get Doom Guy, you get new arrangement. You just get added into your collection. Yeah. Doom Guy's the
yeah.
Mii Gunner. Same. All of them are actually the Mii Gunners.
No,
So,
isn't
oh, Judd is actually just a
Judd?
hat,
Hmm.
so you can be on any of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So now Sora. What?
So I hate to betray my former self, but I was wrong. And technically, so were you. But I mean, I was wrong.
So in the
And
beginning of the direct, I did like a bunch of predictions, and if you guys haven't already, go ahead and watch my full reaction. Info card is going to be somewhere on the corner. But I said like I said in quotes, I'm not gonna be a little disappointed if Sora gets announced because I don't play Kingdom Hearts. And lo and behold, he gets announced. But overall,
yes.
I mean, go ahead. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts.
Um, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I haven't really played Kingdom Hearts, so I don't have like any connection with the character. But I do think it is kind of. I appreciate that they took the fan poll to gauge what they wanted to do,
Yeah,
but it would have been nice if
they did a
it
new
wasn't
fan poll.
so old. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like when you tell like your aunt, "Oh yeah, I really like dinosaurs," and then like 6 years
yeah, six
later,
to 8 years
they
later,
get you
the
like a
dinosaur.
dinosaur toy, and it's like, I don't like dinosaurs anymore.
So if you guys somehow
It's just like such a
didn't
delayed thing.
watch the presentation, they chose Sora, or partly because it was the number one fighter that was requested on the Smash ballot back in Wii U and 3DS, which I think is like 7 years ago. Like, I get it. I get it. I mean, they didn't add Sora before, so they're gonna add him now. It's just kind of they should have. I feel personally they should have did a new Smash ballot, and I'm saying this all in like constructive criticism because I'm like, happy for Sora. I'm not mad on like some people. I'm just more like they could have did it this way, but they did it this way, and I'm not that mad. But I
Yeah.
feel like they should have did a new Smash ballot and then that winner because there's been so many new picks now. Master Chief, Doom Guy, which they did put Doom Guy in, so I feel like they were paying attention. It's not just
Yeah.
like, oh, let's just add in the number one fighter from the Smash ballot. I feel like if people weren't talking about Sora, then they wouldn't have. They would have been a different character entirely. But Sora was
Hmm.
still relevant. I wonder how much money they're paying Disney.
Yeah, getting a rights to a Disney property is pretty
So his final
impressive.
Smash is a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate original. So like it just shows you how much I feel like Disney has like tied. I guess I don't know. Like they're walking on
So you can have the character,
eggshells.
but you can't have any of our moves or
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah, there wasn't any Disney IPs. It's all Kingdom Hearts. But like Mickey and Goofy weren't they? They're like notable side characters in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't foresee those going in
yeah.
at
I don't
all.
see him either. But yeah. Overall, that was cool. Can we talk about that trailer and how weird it was?
Yeah, I didn't really understand why they had, like, the figures from Brawl, where they're,
So
like, amiibos,
yeah,
or what are they called? Amoebas?
or yeah, they're like the amiibos, and that's the whole idea. I think is so in the first Smash Bros, it was basically the kid, Master Hand and Crazy Hand. That's a kid, or that's the common theory. Was playing with these figures, and that's what you're playing as in Smash Bros. Is basically the kid's imagination.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I don't. It's like if it was in other trailers, I would understand, but it wasn't. So,
Yeah, it's just kind of an odd inclusion. Now, I think I did notice to kind of propel this theory,
mhm.
as the flame of the whole like Smash logo was dying out, that's when they became the figures again. And it
So
was only when the
maybe.
light was still burning did Mario came back to life, Toy Story style.
So do you
So
think it's something like the kid leaves the room and then everyone comes, or
that
everyone
or the
turns
kid
into toys because they're not in his imagination anymore?
so well, something like that, like he's like, I don't really wanna play with these action figures anymore, and
Hmm.
so the flame starts dying out, and then they all go back to being just figures.
Hmm.
And then I think I don't know, this is, my headcanon, my lore, um, Kingdom of Hearts gets put through, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this game because I think we'll probably get into that later." So he gets a figure for Kingdom Hearts, and it
Hmm.
kinda rejuvenates his imagination, and then so they all come back to life because he's just back into it.
Yeah,
That's my headcanon.
that's pretty deep. Considering like a lot of the story isn't even.
It's not really a story.
It's not really a story. They're all like, just I don't even know. Like Lifelight wasn't even that crazy. All it had was like light and dark. And I'm trying to think. There wasn't anything that really made it seem like a kid's imagination. And what mainly stems like the whole Crazy Hand and Master Hand being a kid. That's all theory. That hasn't been proven by Nintendo or anything.
Mhm.
And the only thing to back it up is the first game because it took place in a room. I did. Yeah, I just found it really weird they brought back trophies despite not. They didn't even have trophies in Smash Bros. Ultimate. And yeah, I think this is the only time we've seen them.
Yeah, and Ultimate anyway.
Yeah, it made me think of Brawl, like when that happened, and I was thinking that the character was gonna be a Brawl, like one of the Brawl bad guys, like the Brawl story bad guys.
Yeah, 'cause I think they were turned into I don't think they were turned into stone, I think they were literally just, like,
Oh yeah, they turned back
figures.
into trophies. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the trailer. It was interesting, well animated. I liked how they started at the end of the first trailer.
Yeah, that was a nice
Yeah, that was a nice
touch,
touch because it kind of made things full circle. And then, yeah, and
pun
then
intended.
they had an extended trailer at the end of the presentation where Sora and Mario shake hands. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, yeah. So after this presentation, thank you Sakurai was trending on Twitter. I think it was like it blew up. Like this was almost happened. I think it's still trending right now. But so many people joined in on this. Cool Math Games said the same thing. Like, oh, Sakurai, well deserved break, or get a well deserved break. Microsoft did it on behalf of Rare and Bethesda. Director of Tekken, Reggie, and then Doug Bowser. So many other people just did hashtag thank you Sakurai. And then Sakurai actually responded saying he saw that the hashtag thank you Sakurai was on trending. And this is, in rough translations, he says, this is the one who is, I am the one who is really grateful. It is a result of the support of so many people. I mean, honestly, this is probably the most undivided I've seen the Smash Bros. Community.
Yeah, it's the one time they're all united together and they're not,
Like I said
"That was
this,
a bad DLC fighter. Oh, that's a low tier character."
mhm. Like even people who didn't want Sora understand the significance of him because it's Disney. Everyone knows. Like if you're like our age, like 15 to everyone knows that Disney's kind of strict, so they know the significance of having basically a Disney character in Smash Bros.
Yeah.
There of course there's still negativity, but there isn't a ton. that I've seen. Like there isn't a lot out of the open. Like there's overwhelmingly positivity that, you know, shadows the negativity.
Yeah. I think it's good on Sakurai. He finally gets to,
Hmm.
like, I don't know, is he retiring? I would hope so for his own
I
sake.
thought he was gonna announce he was gonna retire because he said like even if you're not into Smash Bros, come on, hop on the stream. Why don't you watch it? This is gonna be a big video game announcement, major crossover. So I thought he was gonna announce more things, and they did announce other things that weren't correlated to Smash Bros, but it wasn't about his career. Because he
Yeah.
did say in I think it was Kotaku that he was looking to retire after Smash Bros Ultimate. And we don't know if that's still going to happen or if he was just thinking and he doesn't know. He's definitely
Yeah.
going to take a well-deserved break, but I would like to see at least one game that isn't Smash Bros from him, that isn't Kirby, that isn't Kid Icarus, that's like a known IP.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
definitely worked very hard though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
definitely
especially
like
to get Disney, to get a
mhm.
Disney property.
He even said something like so someone
He
said
kept
that
reiterating,
yeah, he
like,
kept
you know,
reading.
this was a lot of this took more effort than normal, and this was
Mhm.
harder to get than most DLC fighters.
Yeah.
And it's like he never said Disney, but you could tell it was kind
Mhm.
of
Yeah,
like,
like I think someone said I saw like in my live chat, someone's like, "Oh, you know, they didn't say Disney once." And I'm like, "Yeah, they said Disney at least once. They didn't." Yeah.
wait, no, I think he did. He said, when he was describing what Kingdom Hearts was, he's like, it includes a mashup of Disney and Pixar characters. I think he did say it
Oh,
once.
maybe. I swear I went back. I even used the YouTube transcript feature. Maybe it just didn't auto generate correctly and it didn't show Disney.
Hmm.
But
Well, I don't think it would have just because he's speaking Japanese. You know, the only captions
oh,
you would
that
see would be on the bottom.
I'm an idiot. Yeah. But I'm trying to think about. Oh, so they also the other thing they announced during this presentation is that we're getting almost every single Kingdom Hearts game. So Kingdom Hearts is notorious for super long titles. um, so they're like there's Kingdom Hearts 2.1, 2.2, 2.8, 2.6, 3.4, and it's like there's so many random numbers. And I guess they're all coming to Switch. I think it's a total of eight. I think 8 games. The only catch is they're all cloud games.
Hmm.
They ain't bother using source code or anything. They ain't bother like actually porting it over. Because Kingdom Hearts 3, I could see not being a cloud game because that's on the PS4. And maybe, you know, they don't want to put so much effort into making it available on the Switch. So that I find understandable. But like 1 and 2, those were like PS2, PS3 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your whole opinion on cloud gaming?
I don't know. I would prefer to have physical access to my games.
Yeah.
That's why even like digital games and not disc, I mean, I'm slightly opposed to. Maybe not like not necessarily you have to put the disc in to play it, but you have to like, use the disc to install it, and it's not
Hmm.
in like Steam,
Yeah.
where you download Steam and then that's an installer for other games. I would rather have physical copies of my game
Yeah.
just
Oh,
because then I can't ever lose it,
yeah.
it's mine. No, it's not, "Oh, somebody" it's like I'm banned on Hypixel, for example, um, because
You were joining with
I
like
was
a mod
unmodded.
pack. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a mod pack on, and I went to go click our local multiplayer world, and I clicked the Hypixel save slot instead, and it
Hmm.
just auto banned me for, like, a year, uh,
So
but
yeah, now you
it's
can't
like,
play all the Hypixel
now I
games.
can't play Hypixel at all, even though, like, I donated, and I'm a donator, and I don't have access for, like it's like another 160 days.
Hmm.
So I think having physical access, nobody can just, like, wipe you from it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, I don't like the idea of cloud as well. I see. I kind of on the opposite spectrum of you. I like digital games. I started. You know, I used to be like you. I kind of want everything physical, but I'm starting to get to the point where like, you know what? It's digital. I get it. I preload it. I get the game immediately. I don't have to wait. And yeah, but I don't like cloud gaming at all. a lot of people think it's a great way to get old, like Nintendo, get different games onto the Nintendo platform if it can't run on hardware. But I just don't like it. Like, I don't want to be dependent on internet. It's an offline game. Why do I need to have an
Yeah.
internet connection to play? And then, like, if you, like, luckily we have 1 gigabit internet, but what if I didn't have 1 gig? I'm going to be dealing with, like, ultra high latency. And
That's the thing too, is like a lot of people like propose it to reach out to those who can't afford nice systems,
mhm,
but I can. So why, I mean, why would I
yeah.
support cloud gaming if I mean, I don't need it.
Oh, yeah.
Why would I ask for it?
Hmm. And
So,
I can see where it just kind of, it kind of sucks. I'm gonna read it. I understand if like the newer games were cloud and the older games weren't, but all the games are cloud, and I'm like, ugh, it just sucks. And then I hate when they have a physical version of cloud games too, like Doom Eternal. Oh no, Doom not Doom Eternal. There's a couple of games that have like you get a physical cartridge, and it's like you said, you put the cartridge in and you download it. It's just like a download cartridge. Then after that, you don't need the cartridge anymore, and it's just a cloud game. Yeah,
mhm.
I I don't know. Overall, this presentation was sad. That's not, they interjected
Yeah.
so much of his personality, and I think they did that on purpose, like more than usual.
Yeah, he's hanging up the posters on the wall.
Oh yeah, as the thing was going on, and as like we're getting more information, he's like, "Oh, we already
You like
cut.
these
I,
posters?
I'm
Yeah.
putting yeah." You're like, "Yeah, as you guys can see over here, here's the models, yada yada yada," and
Yeah.
and then when Sora got announced, he's like, "Eh."
Like what?
Yeah, I'm like, and then he waved at the end. He's like, "For the final time, thank you and goodbye." And I'm like, at the end of my stream, like you could tell, I was like, "That's it. Just it's over."
Yep.
It's truly an end of an era. I mean, it's hard to imagine a direct without a Smash Bros. Reveal.
Or in this case, an announcement for a Smash Bros. Reveal.
Well, anything Smash Bros. Relay, we're not going to
Yeah.
get anything. Of course, they're probably going to do balance updates and other things, but like, that's it. We're not going to
Yeah,
get
no
any
more
news.
creative stuff.
Yeah. Which is a little, it's sad, but you know, all good things come to an end. Of course, I don't think we're going to see another Smash Bros. Game for another 4 or 6 years. Not until the
Probably.
next console, because if you think about it, 4 years till a new console or a better version of the Switch or whatever, and then another 2 years for that console to go into like a lifespan, and then Smash Bros gets announced and then released. Because I think that was how the Switch was, because it came out in 2018, which I think was 2 years after the Switch got it released or initially announced.
Hmm.
So yeah, another 6 years. Okay, here's a question: do you think Ultimate is going to be as big as Melee, or is it going to stay around? It's going to stay around as long?
Um, I think it has like potential to stay around up for a long time, just because it is, ultimate. You got
Mm-hmm.
all of the fighters, all of these, things you can
Oh,
play
you
as.
got every fighter. It's hard to
Yeah,
top that.
so
Like it's going to be sad to realize they're going to cut the roster next time.
you think so?
That's like 6 years from now, so I don't know. I honestly think the way they're going to go, Sora's going to retire, or not Sora, Sakurai's going to retire, and they're just going to keep remaking Ultimate. They're going to be like, new engine, new style, port that over. We'll add more characters, 100 characters,
Mm.
boom. That's
Yeah, I do
about
think
it.
them leaving off like at such an odd number is a bit.
89. Such a weird number, but it's yeah. Because it would have been left off at like 88. I don't know.
It's weird not being at like a multiple of 5. I could have just
Like
went up to
90, I
90.
would understand. But then once you're at 90, you're like, okay, now you just 10 more characters. But then like you think 10 more characters, that's a lot. But then, I mean, we'll get into this. You have Echo Fighters.
Yeah, you literally have characters you can just modify and put
Yeah,
out, and
you
people
just
would
need
use
new
them.
models. And the
Yeah.
whole reason why they didn't do trophies was because they didn't want to model. But like trophies are different than actual characters. Yes, you do a
Yeah.
little bit more effort, but I feel like characters are way more used than trophies, because trophies you just look at them. Characters you actually play as them. But yeah,
Yes.
anything else? Because it's just sad. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't know how to feel. Should I be sad? Should I be happy? Should I be like, because Sora, I didn't want the character, but I'm happy that we have Sora. But I'm also like, I could have got Gino. I mean, even
I
if we
got
got,
Waluigi.
I mean, even if we got Gino, I would have been like, yeah, I played Super, or what was it? Was it Mario's? Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's the Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG. I think that's what it was called. I played the beginning and the middle. I didn't finish it. I got to the point where we met Gino. Um, but I don't think I have a connection to Gino. I just know a lot of people like him, so I kind of just hopped on that bandwagon. I feel like Waluigi would have been a really good character, kind of just fit into meme culture. I was talking to this on the stream. What if they just announced 10 characters right then and there?
That would have been like,
Well, like, even if they're Echo Fighters, they're like, yes, we got Sora. Then we got
yeah,
11 Echo Fighters. And
I
everyone
mean,
was
they
like,
said
wait.
it was. They could have said, this is the last Mr. Sakurai Presents. And then they never said, like, we're only going to announce one character. So I think it would have been cool. But
Yeah, it would have been cool. But then again, I don't want to be that guy to be like, oh, this Sakurai Presents
it
was
wasn't
bad.
enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. I want more.
Get back on your computer, Mr. Sakurai. You have more work to do.
It was really good. I loved how they do it. They definitely tried tugging at the heartstrings, because again, they interjected his personality a lot. He said it. I think he said it like 8 times. He's like, "Oh, it's so weird. This is the last time I'm saying this," and I'm like, "Bro, you don't have to rub it in." Yeah. Overall, I think we both. I think I speak for both of us where we appreciate Sakurai and everything he's done, and I think
This
we
is
both.
not what I would ultimately prefer.
What?
Yeah, like, ultimately, I would have liked better,
Oh yeah.
but this is good enough.
Oh yeah. If I didn't fall out of my chair, it could have been better. But I still really enjoyed it. I still think Sakurai made one of the best video game crossovers ever. And I'm not complaining, but yeah, it was great. It was great. I'm just leaving it at that. We keep going back and forth. It was good. I'm not mad. So the OLED comes out in about 2 days. By the time this uploads, 3 days from when we're recording this. And the review copies have come out. Some people have gotten a hold of their consoles early, that being, just part of retail sneaking one out. Amazon accidentally ships it early. That usually happens for non-big countries, usually in Mexico. I don't know what's up with Amazon in Mexico. Yeah, but some people got a hold of their consoles early. So a lot of stuff came out. I don't know where I'm going with this, but OLED is apparently 4K capable, which is very interesting. This claim comes from YouTuber Nintendo Prime, who managed to get a hold of a console ahead of its official release on Friday. When comparing the revised dock with the original one, it was found that not only does the dock itself have a HDMI 2.0 controller required for 4K output, but it is capable. But the cable it ships with is also 4K ready. Very interesting. This also ties in with some rumors that came out last month, with 11 developers speaking anonymously to Bloomberg, a very credible news site, stating that they had a 4K dev kits and were creating games to hit that resolution. That claim was quickly and publicly denied by Nintendo. So there's a little trend. Whenever Nintendo publicly denies something, it's probably true. Same thing like with the 3DS. I think when the 2DS came out, the new 2DS XL, the rumors were coming out that new 2DS XL was probably the best one yet, and Nintendo was like, nope, no, we're not making any more DSs. That was the end of the line with the 2DS. We're not making a 2DS XL. A month later, they announced the new 2DS XL. So I think they did the same thing with the Wii U somewhat. I don't remember specifically, but they've done this before. They've done this with games. They've done this with hardware, mainly hardware. Yeah. Do you
They
think?
said they were announcing winter games at the Direct, and they announced
Oh,
games for 2022.
yeah. Do you think this means anything?
Monumental? No, I mean, I know more and more consoles or more and more games are porting over to the Switch. So the odds of them having 4K ports are higher now that the Switch is OLED capable.
But do you think they're gonna utilize it? Like, do you
I
think
don't think
Nintendo? Do you
Nintendo's
think
gonna utilize it.
Nintendo's just blocking everyone from using 4K until they themselves make 4K games?
I don't know. That I wouldn't think so. I honestly don't foresee Nintendo making any big I mean, maybe like Bayonetta 3,
Oh, Bayo 3
but
would look so good in 4K.
like most of their games don't really need 4K.
Honestly, because they're
So,
very
and most of their
stylistic.
gamers don't
Mhm.
like 4K on a TV is not the same as like 4K on a gaming or like just any monitor. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like a gaming monitor.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know if Switch users are ready for a 4K Switch.
Because everyone wants a 4K Switch, but I don't think people realize with a 4K output, you need a better GPU.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize it. They're like, "Oh, all you're doing is making 1080 4K, and that's it." No, it's
You
not.
just
That's not.
double the pixels.
Yeah, that's not how you do it. Um, if it's 4K capable, I don't see the cable itself is 4K capable, and the output is 4K capable, but I don't think the system is. So
It might just be testing the dock.
So yeah, it sounds like it's just a dock thing, and then maybe like this is the final version of the dock for the rest of the Nintendo Switch's lifespan, and then they're gonna release a new Switch with this same dock, and this new Switch is gonna have GPU and be 4K capable.
Yeah, because like you said, there's not really many games that the Switch could handle
Mhm.
in 4K anyway.
I
But they
because
are setting themselves up for possible 4K ports in the future.
I rather have better stability because some games suffer from massive frame rate drops. Uh, for instance, one of them being Age of Calamity. And what's interesting is Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild, I think Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario 3D World have an inbuilt upscaling, and people have used that to make the games look 4K, when modding. It's inbuilt upscaling, and I think Nintendo has done this for every game after what game came out? Whatever came out in January, starting it this year. Every game after January, they started doing like this sort of integrating upscaling, even though they don't have no need for it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do. There is a need for it because if you plug a Nintendo Switch into a 4K TV to play, if you don't have proper upscaling, then it's going to look really funky.
Well, I mean,
So there is a need for it. And it doesn't even necessarily reflect that they're going the 4K route. It just means that their 1080 games can look good on 4K without actually being 4K. It's like Stardew Valley. It's, I have a 2K monitor that I play that on. The game isn't 2K, it's just, multiplying the pixels to make it
mm,
look, make it fit on the screen nicely so it's not like choppy.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't have a lot of knowledge about the technicality of it. I know a base level. Yeah, but what's interesting is at the end of September as well, because at the end of September we were gonna get the release of the controllers and stuff, patents, and usually that at the end of the month we get a massive release of patents. There's a patent revealed that Nintendo is working on upscaling technology, but this is different than what we were just talking about. In September 31st, upscaling technology was made public. The patent was first placed in March of 2020. The application is titled Systems and Methods for Machine Learning Image Conversion. That's a mouthful. And through the initial language can be a head scratcher. It is essentially an idea similar to NVIDIA's DLSS. the short for deep learning super sampling. It basically upscales textures and images to 4K using an AI.
Yes.
So it's all kind of getting released at once, and I think their plan was maybe to make the OLED a 4K Switch, but due to GPU CPU shortages,
They're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work.
so they just made an OLED,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that makes sense.
I don't know. I still don't understand why they're releasing the OLED because this is pushing back the next Switch
It
and like
doesn't.
how soon they could release it without losing profits because people are like, oh, I just bought an OLED. Why would I buy a new Switch?
Well, I think didn't they announce or someone found out or just base level because they're just replacing the screen and speakers, and that's like a third, not even $30 upgrade. I feel like it's only if you're mass producing these, it's like maybe $8, give or take, because screens aren't that expensive if you buy them in bulk, especially from Samsung, which is their provider. So yeah, and they're charging what, $50 more? So so Nintendo's mindset, whenever they sell consoles, they always make a profit on consoles, and that's normally not the industry standard. So like with Microsoft and Sony, they actually sell consoles at a loss, and they make their money back with AAA titles.
And their subscription service.
Oh, and subscription services. So Nintendo's still making money off of consoles. And I think they just couldn't do that with GPU switches or like a better GPU, especially in this market right now.
Yeah.
And I don't see, I see it be like, it's probably going to be another 2 years till we get a new Switch because of the shortage.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean,
Nintendo is going to be another PS5. And
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how bad this GPU shortage is for the big time companies. It's obviously bad for us,
well,
end users.
I
But
think the car companies are now having major issues, but that's just
okay.
because they're using older chips, and the companies are now focusing on the newer chips. And I mean, cars don't. I don't think cars inherently have GPUs in them. But I there's
You don't understand, Mom. I need a 3090 for my Nissan Sentra.
for the car itself, or I mean, not for the car, for the average consumer itself, there's definitely an issue, and I feel like there would be an issue for big time companies if that's the case.
Yeah. Again, I still don't really see a point in upgrading because, like you said, it's like a new screen and new speakers. Why would you
Oh,
pay that extra
okay, so
$50
I'm
on
not.
top of the like the 300 base amount that a Switch would be regardless?
I don't think I'm gonna get an OLED. I think I've said this before. It's maybe see if I got paid this week, maybe I would, but I don't know. My mentality is if I don't get it day one and I can't pump out content then, it's kind of hard to justify buying it afterward because I can't really make content on it as good, if that makes sense, because everyone else has. I don't think I'll be picking it up just because reviews came out. It looks way better, way cleaner. I might buy a new dock though, because I wanted to put a dock down in our living room, and they're selling the 2.0 dock separately, so I might do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't justify anyone
I'm not.
buying it,
Yeah.
frankly. Especially if you take it everywhere, then sure. But like, we don't take it out of our docks.
I mean,
so
if anyone's buying it, it should be us, the people that have the Gen 1 Switch, not even the refresh, because we still have the really bad battery life, or it's like a 2-hour difference of battery life, and the I think that's it. I think that's all they changed was battery.
But again, like if we never take it out of the dock, then
Oh yeah, if we
really
never take it out,
battery life.
there's no point. Yeah. Again, if it was a GPU, I'd definitely pick it up, but it isn't. I have a Switch Lite, so I already have one that's on the go. So, yeah,
Yep.
I don't think I'll be picking it up Unfortunately.
My recommendation to anybody watching is save the money that you would have spent on the OLED for the next Switch,
Yes. And
because that'd be more worth your dollar.
what sucks is I think Nintendo is using this as a test to see if people would buy a better Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people know there probably is another Switch coming, so they're saving their money on this one. But then that means Nintendo is going to see that the
Gonna skew
sales,
their
yeah.
yeah.
So they might not even do a new Switch, and then yeah, I give it about. I think I said we're gonna get probably an announcement next year about a new Switch, and then next year, 2 years from now, we'll get that new Switch. Or maybe it's a launch title, or maybe it's like a launch console with the new Breath of the Wild. That'd actually be super cool. The official 2.0 Switch would be coming out with Breath of the Wild 2. I think that marks the era, I guess, of the Switch.
Yeah. Just since Breath of the Wild 1 has been such a long time title of the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, yeah,
been
you
around
think
for
Breath of the Wild, and I think Nintendo Switch. Yeah. When I think, yeah.
wasn't it like one of the first couple games released?
Oh, yeah, it was a launch title.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then it would make sense.
Yeah. So then I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 should be a launch title for Switch,
Switch
2.
2.
Yeah. We can't call it the Switch Pro anymore because technically the OLED's a Switch. Yeah. But
Switcheroo number 2.
I think, yeah, then again, I would love to see it as a launch title, but then again, it just rules out the OLED. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Unless they make the OLED the new Switch after this 2.0 comes out. I could see that being a thing.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were saying like they software locked it. Because I know that's what Nvidia did. They software locked ray tracing on their 10 series cards.
Mm.
And then they unlocked it so it's not as good as if you had a 20 series card, but you can still do it.
Huh.
And so I was going to say if they software locked the GPU so it only performed a certain way, and then when they got a patch out, they'd be like, okay, we're download this update and your GPU works to full capacity now.
I mean,
But I
GPU would
don't think
benefit
they would do
games
that.
that don't even have like direct need for it. Just faster load times in general. Like Breath of the Wild already has so little load times, and poppin is not that bad of an issue. But like, imagine like extending that view distance even farther. That would just that'd be crazy. And I feel like they could showcase a better Switch with Breath of the Wild too. They're like, oh yes,
Yeah.
expand or explore this massive world. You see that little guy all the way on that mountain? You could go talk to him, but you could see him from that distance. And yeah. I'm not buying the Switch OLED. I don't think you guys should either. Or financial advice from Jacob. Don't buy the Switch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't see it, but as the episodes, you go back and watch the last couple, it started with, yeah, I'm gonna get the Switch too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm a master of persuasion. What can I say?
Well, I mean, yeah, now that my car's having issues too, it's just like, I don't know. So, with the OLED's release, the launch title with the OLED is Metroid Dread. Review copies have came out. Reviews haven't came out, though. But the game itself has leaked. Metroid Dread has been leaked online ahead, or 1 week ahead of his launch. And with this, we got to see that there is a file size decrease of 40% from the originally announced 6.7 down to 4.2. This isn't that uncommon and probably just means it was better optimization during development. So yeah, just beware of spoilers.
Nintendo is, at least classic Nintendo. I don't know about Nintendo nowadays because I don't really keep up. But old Nintendo used to be super good at optimizing games.
I feel like they still are. I mean, Breath of the Wild was only like 10 gigs. It's actually 13.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said I don't really know for sure. But I know for sure in the past they have been historically optimized at
I feel like
optimizing games.
4.2 is a good size. I don't know how long the game is. I didn't want to look it up because I am planning to buy this. So that's another thing. Like, I was going to get OLED and Metroid Dread, but I think I'm just going to get Metroid Dread now. I don't think you're going to get Metroid Dread now. No, I haven't really followed the Metroid franchise. I played a couple of the Prime games, but from what I remember, this isn't with the Prime trilogy. It's just its own 2D trilogy, which I mean, it seems fun. Robot zombies also seem pretty cool. So yeah, the Emmys. I think it's the small PSA for Metroid Dread. You're not planning to play it at all.
No.
Okay.
What?
I think that's about it. Metroid Dread comes out right when OLED comes out. Launch title. That's about it. So let's go to our chat box question. Fairly short episode today. We just reached the 45-minute mark, so maybe we could talk about this for like 2 hours. Oh, actually, before we get into that, I wanted to add this isn't on the script or anything, so you're going to be like, what? Pokemon Unite.
What?
Pokemon Unite has a $40 skin. And you want to guess what that skin is?
Is it the Ninetales kimono?
The kimono Ninetales.
That is very unfortunate.
That is...
That is very unfortunate, Mr. Typo.
I don't know why. It is $40. I mean, so it isn't inherently $40. I think it's priced around $25, but you have to buy the $40 one to get enough coins to do it. It's the most cost-effective way. It's like the price of it's almost the price of a game.
for just a skin, yeah, that's crazy.
I know, and it's like apparently this skin has a lot of special animations, special sound effects. It's not just the skin. Because like the Talonflame one was the same rarity as this skin, but the Talonflame one wasn't $40. I think if you wanted to buy it with just gems, you only had to pay the $8 one. And that was it. And then if you want, so I think the most expensive item was the Cramorant outfit. And that in total was only $20 for the trainer Cramorant outfit. This is $40.
I mean, I think they just saw our podcast and saw how much it was in demand, and they're like, we can make a lot of money.
I'm not buying this. I know I've said so many times I'm gonna get it. But like $40, like what the?
Is it obtainable for free?
Nope. Only AS gems. You cannot get it in the rolling. You cannot get it anywhere else. Well, actually, I think you can use tickets, but of course, it's going to be like 200 and something tickets. And the only way you get tickets is from rolling, and the only way you do extra rolls is by buying with pretty much.
You know, it's not pay to win, it's pay to get stuff early.
No, this isn't even pay to win. It's like, it's a skin.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like your whole stick this entire time was, oh, well, you can get the stuff without paying money. You just get it faster if you pay money. But that's what
well,
pay to
it's
win
a skin.
is.
I was talking about the.
I don't care about your logic right now. I'm just trying to criticize you for no
criticize
reason.
me for what? I was talking about the battle items. I'm not talking about cosmetic skins.
But
I have not spent money on cosmetics or any other thing.
Theoretically, get this skin for free.
How?
But you could get it faster if you pay money.
I mean,
so this is just pay to get things quicker.
You know the chances, like that's like, because you only have, is it weekly? You only have 20 rolls a week. And if I'm lucky, one of those rolls would be the premium tickets. And that only gives you 10. And I think you need 217 tickets. So I would need to go through, is that like 22 weeks? The game hasn't even been out for that long.
Better get to grinding.
I'm mad. Yeah, you can't even grind for AOS gems. What am I supposed to do?
Grind for energy. You can also get them if you have the skin and then you like unlock it in the lottery.
No,
You
you
get
can't lock
reimbursed
it in the lottery. Oh, you're saying if I re-get another skin.
like a
Okay,
Talonflame skin.
that probably would be the best way because I think you get like 60 with Talonflame. But then I need 4
Like a
Talonflames.
0.5% chance.
And with my luck, I haven't even gotten the Snorlax Berry outfit, and that's a 1% chance. So many people have
Would you like
tweeted
me to
at
roll and win it for you?
So many people have tweeted at Pokemon Unite saying they want it to be cheaper. Do I think it's going to be cheaper? They're not. People are going to buy it. And when people buy it, they're not going to lower the price.
That is very sad.
I am like, it's so beautiful too. They even added some stuff to it. They added like the traditional kind of hair, because she has like hair, like her tails, and they added like little beads. Not really beads. I forgot what they're traditionally called. Oh, I'm so mad. I can't believe it. How much would you? So their whole like payment system is out of whack because you have legend. So this and the Talonflame are considered like tier 4 or legend. I'm just calling them legendary skins.
Ultra rare.
Ultra rare, but they cost different amounts, and I'm like, what is this? I mean, I get it because the Talonflame is only the skin, while the Ninetales is the skin plus new animations plus new sound effects. But still, at least have some sort of like, this is ultra rare, or I don't know, do like 5 stars, change it to a star system. 5-star, 4-star, or like 5-star rainbow stars or 5-star silver stars. Like that would make at least a little bit more sense. Legitimately mad. $40.
He's very flustered.
I can't. Like,
I'm gonna have to keep away the knives from you tonight. No cooking. I'll have to give you like safety scissors to cook with.
So I stopped playing Unite for a bit. Then I saw the Ninetales. I started playing it up. Then once season 2 came out, I started playing it again. Started grinding out the battle pass. Then I stopped, and then I heard this. I'm like, oh sweet, the Ninetales skin came out. I'm gonna go buy it. Find out how much it is. At least you're happy I'm not gonna buy it. Someone wants to donate $40 and say buy it on the night. Oh yeah, I'll do it.
I will neither endorse nor disavow that decision.
All right, so on to our question or chat box. Sorry.
Calm down, Freddy. Calm down.
If you guys want to be featured on the next episode of Gamemode C, go ahead and comment down below any sort of question. I believe next week's episode is going to be Animal Crossing related. So if you want to say anything Animal Crossing, it doesn't have to be just Nintendo related in general. We'll talk about it. And yeah, so going to that, our chat box question comes from Etus from Discord. He said, if there was a third Fighters Pass in Smash Bros., what characters would you want? There's not going to be a third Fighter Pass. Yeah.
What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? So, being realistic here, if there was somehow a third Fighter Pass, it would be Echo Fighters only. And I've said this before. Have like Octoling, have just different things for everyone. There's so many like.
You'd have Doomslayer be Isabel's Echo Fighter.
There's so many concepts out there. Like, oh, Shadow as Sonic or Silver as Sonic, and just bring more representation out there. I can't really think of any at the top of my head. I probably could look up like a Reddit forum and people would have that there. But yeah, just an Echo Fighters Fighter Pass. Or, of course, add Waluigi. And that'd actually be super cool. Like, have Echo Fighters for like all 10. Remember, because there's 11 slots left. Because theoretically, if they have a third Fighter Pass, they should probably try and fill up the rest of the slots to make 100. Have 10. And then like somehow out of nowhere, you see like an 11th spot, and they didn't announce this or anything. Just during the Sakurai Presents or during the whatever trailer, they just randomly say 11th one, and they don't say anything about it. Yeah, and then like maybe they do this massive thing with Twitter and YouTube where Waluigi uploads a video like, "Huh, you didn't want to add me into Smash Bros. I'm gonna do it myself."
He's like he's in Sakurai's office, like
Yeah,
typing at a
he's
computer.
doing the Sakurai Present. That would be so cool. That'd actually be a really good marketing.
Mr. Waluigi Presents.
Dude, that would be awesome. And like, of course, they have budget constraints, so they don't want to do animation for the whole time. They don't even need to do that. Just have like
Just
a
dress some guy up.
yeah, just voiceover work either. Just have some guy talk in front of an empty thing of Waluigi, and then I could totally see him doing something like that. But of
Just
course,
put us in charge of marketing, man.
they're not going to, because it's the last Fighters Pass. I just would like to see, because they could it's such a missed opportunity with these Echo Fighters, because it's relatively I don't even know the word I'm trying to say.
Or fairly.
Relatively cheap to make these Echo Fighters, but they don't want to do it, and they could probably sell them for like another Fighters Pass for like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think Waluigi. In concurrence with my whole exposition about the whole marketing thing, Mr. Waluigi Presents. I think Waluigi. I think Master Chief would be a cool addition.
Oh yeah.
They already got Doom Guy.
So this is, I'm thinking this would be if we didn't get an announcement of the final thing and everyone's like, okay, they could do another one. So yeah, Sora would still be the last one, and then we would get, Waluigi, Master Chief. Go ahead, sorry. Gino.
Sure. I don't really know much else that we could put in.
There's so many.
We already have.
A lot of people.
We have so many.
The champions from Breath of the Wild would be a good one. Guardian from Breath of the Wild. So many.
They could always do more Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Or we don't have any representation for Gen 8, but then again, I don't think we need.
I think we have representation for anything past Gen.
Well,
we have Greninja for Gen 6.
Well, I'm saying like.
We only have.
You either have representation in a stage or in a fighter.
I'm not talking like fighters, because you have Lucario. You have the Gen 1 starters. You have Lucario. You have Mewtwo. So you actually have 2 sets. You have 4 Gen 1 Pokemon.
Oh, it's Gen 1. Of course they're gonna do.
Yeah. Lucario, which is Gen 4. Greninja, which is Gen 6. So, keeping with this pattern, they should do Gen 8. But I don't really know Gen 8. They could add the Galarian forms.
That would be cool. Adding what about
like Galarian Weezing?
What about Ninetales that like switches forms? That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool. Like your down B is switching to like from like an ice to a fire.
I just don't know how they would do that. Well, except maybe a trainer swapping them in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, maybe they could do, but none of the Pokemon that are in the game right now have Galarian forms, do they?
No.
Or Alolan forms. It doesn't have to be Galarian.
No.
Because that'd be another good Echo Fighter if one of them had like a Alolan or Galarian or an alternate form.
Mm-hmm.
Throw that in there. Like, come on.
They frankly could just do a Pokemon Fighter Pass and just chock it full of Pokemon if they wanted to. But
of course, a lot of people.
I can't think of like other. Yeah, because it's just like Fire Emblem. It's just like copies. Yeah, but besides Master Chief and Waluigi, I can't think of many franchises that haven't already been touched. Might be honest. I mean, adding Goku to Smash, that would be like
that would never happen. I as much as I'd like it for the memes, I don't want it to happen at all.
They would have to add like a side character, more than likely.
I mean, there's so many characters.
They should add Vegeta, but I didn't want to demote him to side character status.
I mean, Gino would be a good one. There's a lot of Legend of Zelda they could add. I mean, there's some. Rhythm Heaven hasn't had a fighter, and Rhythm Heaven's one of their it's I think their 12th biggest franchise, but considering it's Nintendo, I feel like that's still pretty good. Trying to think of their other franchises. Yeah, I mean more
I'm
Metroid.
trying to think of other franchises in general that like have the potential for fighters.
I mean,
Because we already have Minecraft. I don't think you can add much else. Let's say add like Villager.
I
Two
mean,
different villagers, one from Animal Crossing, one from Minecraft.
they have done double third-party representation with Final Fantasy, with Cloud and
You
Sephiroth.
know, it would be
They could
kind
do
of cool.
Aerith. That'd be have the whole squad. You have Aerith, Barrett. Oh, that'd be cool.
The if they do a Minecraft villager, like the different skins of the different professions, and like
I could totally see them. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, did you see the little amiibos for Steve and
where?
Alex?
No.
He announced them, and they look sick. They look like, I mean, they look like they're okay. They're easy to manufacture, but they look super good. And it's just like them doing the Minecraft version of a T pose, which is just like standing super still. And there's a Steve and an Alex version. I think it looks really cool. But yeah,
Let me pull up my Steam library to look at possible crossovers now. Yeah, I mean,
they could just go into indie games, actually have Sans or Frisk or
Sans, that's another one.
Well, Sans is in the game as a Mii costume. And I
Yeah,
feel like
but
the only rule Sakurai is stuck by is if it's a Mii costume, they heard the outcry for the character, but they didn't want to add it. For instance, Doom Guy.
So, we heard
Sans.
you, but we just didn't feel like listening to you.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm kind of on a brain freeze right now. Unfortunately, can't think of much else.
I mean, there's more F-Zero characters they could add. I mean, it could be any character. But I think realistically, if we got quote unquote another Fighters Pass, it would be Echo Fighter Fighters Pass. Because they don't need to go out and ask for permission unless it's a different franchise, but I don't see him doing that. Yeah. I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add just in general about the Sakurai Presents OLED?
Not that I can think of. I think kind of wrapping up the thoughts from before. It's unfortunate. It's kind of sad because it's the last.
It's the last one.
Mr. Sakurai
It's
Presents.
really the end of an era. But we have the Animal Crossing Direct to get look forward to sometime this month. Then in November, there's gonna be the Animal Crossing update. Then I'm pretty sure in November we're gonna have another Direct, November, December. And then that should be it for this year. It is going to be a packed year next year. We've been trying to figure out when to put in some actual just regular podcast content because we wanted to talk about anime. We wanted to talk about vacations. We want to talk about VR. But there's
just so much
consistent
news all the time.
every week where we're like, dang, we have nothing to talk about. And we already have, or I have one scheduled for next week, and that's still news related. And by that time, we probably get more news. So there's a lot going on. I'm trying to be more consistent too with these uploads. Unfortunately, I did not win the business competition. I did say that on Discord. I think I said it last podcast as well. Very unfortunate, but it is fine. Still planning to grind this out. Anyways,
all the more reason you guys need to keep watching, subscribe,
increase the watch
like,
hours,
comment.
So join the
even
Discord.
if it's some stupid nonsense. Put in the comment section.
Comment anything. Just give me interaction, please. I'm begging you. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. If you really, it really does help out the channel. Even a dislike, but I mean, pretty sure if you made it this far in the video, you're probably liking it anyways. But I think that's a good way to end it. As Jacob said, like, subscribe. I am Freddy, also known as Crafty Type 1.
And I am Jake. I was trying to do a J, but it looked like an L. I'm Jacob, also known as TatorTot.
This has been Gamemode C, and we will see you guys next Wednesday. Goodbye.